Okay, good morning everybody. Back into the new year with some new, what's the word? Enthusiasm for streaming, I suppose, and trying to get back onto some good habits. So, today's sculpt I'm working on, you can see I've already started it. I did some work on this yesterday, setting it all up, and started work on the boots. I'm sculpting a female warrior. This is for a game which currently has no working title, I don't believe, but it's in development by Dave at MS Paints. Dave's asked me to sculpt a bunch of hero characters. I think there's either 6 or 8 hero characters, and then a bunch of these kind of like zombie type guys. So I'm going to be working through as many of them as I can on live streams over the coming weeks, aiming to try and get all of these done kind of middle of February. So before the February half term kicks in, I want every last one of these characters ticked off my list and handed over to Dave so we can start painting them and doing what he does best. So I'm going to get stuck in. If you're on the stream and you want to jump in and just say hello, obviously just pipe up, and I'll try and keep one eye on the chat. I've got it on multi-stream chat so I can see what's going on. I shouldn't miss anybody today. If you're a frequent viewer, you'll know I tend to forget to put the multi-stream on, and I miss half the conversations coming from anywhere other than Twitch. Rich, good morning mate, happy new year dude. It's like New Year's resolutions this is, mate, trying to get back in good habits. My sculpting slacked off a bit towards the end of last year, running around mad doing admin stuff. So yeah, trying to get back onto good form now. Rogue Magician, how you doing? Thank you for joining the stream today. How's everybody else? How's your New Year's, everybody? How's your Christmases? Did you fill your tables and your Santa sacks with all sorts of nerdy paraphernalia? I never get anything like that, I don't, for Christmas. They never know what to buy me. End up with sweets and booze, which I ain't going to complain about either. But I did randomly treat myself to it's going to sound bizarre now, but a copy of the Ethiopian Bible. Awesome sauce. Do you know what? Supplement your RPG stuff with the Ethiopian Bible. It's brilliant. It give you so many ideas. Just for context as well, the reason I bought the Ethiopian Bible was I've heard a lot of stuff recently about the Book of Enoch, and the Canon Bible, the King James Bible that is kind of not in common use now. There's 22 books missing, and the Ethiopian Bible basically preserves all of them. So instead of having 66 books, there's 88 books. And the stuff that was removed from the King James Bible is all the stuff about the Nephilim, giants, the flood, fallen angels, all that kind of cool stuff. It makes a very interesting read. And as a creative, it kind of really fills your brain with ideas. So if you're world building or if you're running campaigns and stuff, I would definitely encourage, get your head around the Book of Enoch. You know, religion aside and all that. So Rogue Magician, what RPG, what TTRPG was it? Are you talking D&D or Cursed Empire, some Pathfinder? MS Paints, good morning, mister. How are we doing, Dave? take it Hector's there with you as well. Just detailing your warrior boots, mate. So this is the boot. Coming down toast. Keller, good morning, sir. How are you? And Happy New Year to everybody as well. Let me turn this bass off because it's pissing me off already. Hang on. There it goes, getting in the way. Alright, let's cut her feet off. Savage. In fact, let's duplicate the body first. Hide it, and then cut the feet off. Group, Dynamesh. This is your warrior, mate, this one is. And the music is my own creation. A little bit of 11 Labs at work here for me. Some AI, love it or hate it. I kept using like lo-fi backing tracks that online they say, oh, it's free to use, no royalties, all this kind of stuff. And every time it gets uploaded onto Facebook, I keep getting all these notifications come through saying somebody's lodged a profit share claim against the video because they own the music rights. It's like, you buggers. So I thought I'll rustle up a little bit of lo-fi music myself, run it from my PC, and then it's no dramas then, is it? I'm not going to get a claim for profits later on. Not that my videos are profitable in any way, of course. Oh, hang on. Document 2 times. Actual. There we go. Control N. Okay, much better. That into the bit below. Right, and then here. So let me just pull the reference material. I'm working from memory here, which is never a great idea. Oh, is that where your jazzy music comes from then? On the video for us with the when you did the Crystal Collapse video. That's guys, just so you see this is my brief from Dave. So we're going for a mixture of these two characters. So quick and tanky. Do you know, Dave, I might have to hit you up for the link for that one. I'm trying to study some of your videos to get some ideas for for video editing. I'll be making some tutorials this year and getting some more courses made. So the engine, I know there's some quite cool JRPG music in there. I think you said something about airships and stuff, if I remember right. But right, so let's go for a little bit of boost that. Do you know what, we've got Crystal Collapse almost ready to send off for production shortly, so I'm just putting all the finishing touches on the translations so we can get them finished off. Max has just finished off the playing cards and whatever else, so the game's almost wrapped up. So we'll be sending that one off, starting to get fulfillment ready. All the models printed up here in abundance. And then we get the game out to people, start people playing. Are you still playing it, mate, or have you got to park it and move on to other things? Because I've got some new heroes for you if you're interested. Joe, while I'm here sculpting stuff for your game, mate, do you want to give me any like plug material for your game? Tell us what it's about, and cool. Well, mate, we've got loads of new heroes coming, so you'll be able to kind of mix up your teams. We've got the solo mode stuff as well, so we've got the Goblin King, we've got the Ifrit. We're working on a bestiary, which will be one of our like next releases. So we're going to go like heavy into the solo mode. Fair enough, mate. Yeah, DM me. Yeah, we're going heavy into like solo mode on Crystal Collapse. So we're working on bestiaries for different regions, different environments. Max is writing some quests, like string together a kind of, basically do like a randomizer. So you'll go into like different map points, and there'll be branch offs you can take, and you'll follow a course through. There'll be X number of missions you have to complete, and they'll end up in like a boss fight, or a couple of boss fights along the way, and then finishing one big boss fight. So you'll fight maybe like the Goblin King, and then like a King Slime or something like that, and then you'll finish with like Ifrit, for example. Through you're leveling up, you're gaining XP and loot and all that kind of stuff, all that kind of good gear that you expect from a top quality JRPG. But we're super descriptive on like story aspects. It's more of we're focusing more on experience than the story in this particular one. So hopefully anybody that's already played it, like yourself, gets a renewed lease of life for it. Dave, just let me know when you've messaged me over the blurb, and I'll read it out. So guys, I have got Dave here. I know he is going to be otherwise engaged. He'll be dipping in and out of the stream and kind of watching in the background while he's working, because he's a busy man. If anybody's got any questions here that you want to ask to Dave, I'm sure he won't mind fielding the answers. Assuming that is that he's he's listening at the time I ask. But yeah, if you've got any questions about the model or about the concept or the game itself, whatever else, then ping them in the chat, and I will do my best to relay them over. Let's get this little looking leathery now. So drop the Z intensity down, turn off my Sculptress Pro mode. Let's also just do a quick group polish Dynamesh. Oh mate, no worries. Today's gonna have to mute me because he's got to do some music bits, but that's cool. I'll just DM you with any questions then, mate, if anything pops up. And I'll just drop them back on a video if anybody, if I miss anyone. Kellett, do you know what, mate? I've been mad busy sorting out various aspects of my business, trying to work out the future direction I wanted to go in. Do you know when you kind of, what I realised was back end of last year, I was like literally working on so many different things, I was running at burnout. As much as I loved it, certain things I was putting time and effort into that just, they weren't paying. So I had to refocus a little bit, get a little bit of, you know, get my head back in the game basically. So I kind of knew where I'm at and kind of set my plan for this year. So, you know, other than become a millionaire, then my my plan for this year is to focus a little bit more in on the community side of things. So we've got the STL miniatures, which obviously are running in the, you know, running on as normal. We're selling them through the website as ever. We'll be adding to them. We've got Max working on a game tentatively called War Commander. So this is a game that we've had for a while, but we parked in favour of Crystal Collapse. And whilst all our attention's been on Crystal Collapse, it's been one of those funny ones where actually, you know, the sales have slowed down on the miniatures. And I kind of became aware that most of the stuff I was making was not for my own system, so it's, you know, it's out of my own control. So the stuff I'm doing for compatibility with Dungeons and Dragons, for example, if Wizards drop the ball and, you know, piss off their customer base, as you know, has been known in the past, then we find like a big exodus going out of the gaming system. People no longer want the models I've made, and it's through no fault of my own. So just trying to get a little bit more control in terms of, we want to create a system, a game system that gives people a reason to use our miniatures. So a little bit of work on that. Obviously working on Crystal Collapse, getting all the translations done, the rules finished off and all that kind of business, and then that's our kind of primary focus for the year. And then also things like this for, you know, some of our good friends and loyal customers, and, you know, our good clients who want to keep coming back and getting more stuff done. So I've got a little bit of a project going on with the guys over at Footsore Miniatures, where we're going to be revisiting Mortal Gods. So they've got a new general manager over there, with Andy leaving. So Andy's gone and now works for War Games Atlantic full time. Also doing his own War Host game, which is like a fantasy version of the Baron's War. If you haven't checked it out, by the way, if you haven't seen that one, and you're a fan of like the Lord of the Rings aesthetic, go and check out warhost.online, and you'll see some absolutely awesome stuff in there. There's a few bits I've already done for him, which is like the wargs. I can't remember what he's calling them now, but the wargs for the orcs. I've sculpted them. I'm working on some dwarf ponies and some war wagons and stuff for him at the moment as well, which will also be very cool. Sorting out their shields and weapons and things like that for the other physical sculpts. So yeah, busy times, mate, very busy, but in a good way, so I can't really complain. And yeah, I feel like I've got my sense of purpose back a little bit, if you know what I mean. So I'm in a much happier, much more relaxed state of mind now than I was like this time last year. How about yourself, Keller? How was your Christmas and New Year, and what have you been up to? There we go, happy with the boot. Let's save it so I don't get a crash and lose it. Christmas is today for you? Why is that? Is that because I'm back? Let's mirror and weld that. Let's get 2 boots out of this one. Oh, there we go. Let's go a little bit asymmetrical. We're going to put a knee pad on the one side but not the other. In fact, actually, could invert one of these cuffs so it goes upwards. You follow a different calendar. Dude, you got to explain that, man. You follow a different calendar. Who's we? Oh, are you doing the old 28-day, 13-week, 13-month, 28-day proper calendar? Mr. Squarepeg, good morning. How are you today? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Always love a follow. If you've got any questions at all, mate, just fire away. I'm always happy to answer. Right, I'm just going to take this bit and this bit. I'm going to merge them together. I'm just going to smooth out that transition I've just created there. Wicked. Cheers, Dave. Give me 2 seconds, my dude. Let me go and load it up. Because I'm not even prepared for this in terms of... I haven't even got any... let's have a gander at this and let's see if I can read it out. Right, so guys, if you missed the original brief here, I'm sculpting a model here for Dave at MS Paints. Dave's given me a little elevator pitch for the game. So the game is still in development. I don't even believe it's got a working title. Could be wrong with that. If you've got any questions about the model, about the game or anything else, drop them in the comments. Dave is around today, but he's muted me because he's doing some audio work. So I can ping him messages and he'll respond that way. So if you've got any questions about the game, let us know. So he says, not sure how to distill it down, but basically it was designed to be Frostgrave Dark Souls, pretty shamelessly, with some new dice size based leveling. Not sure what that means. So the dice size reflects your character's capacity for whacking stuff. I assume dice size means the number of sides on the dice rather than physically, you know, I've got a 6-inch D6 I'm going to throw across the table and destroy stuff with. Oh, the game is called Petrichor, so it does have a working title. Interestingly, Petrichor, one of my favourite smells. Okay, so dice size reflects your character's capacity for whacking stuff, saving and casting spells. As they level up and increase the dice size, lower tier abilities get easier. You've got an action stamina system that's got some active resource management, talking about some, we're taking some of the meta Souls themes, like always being aware that the rules and framework of the game are designed to be pushed and bent to try new things. We hit a bit of a wall in October when Gaslands Mike pulled it apart. So they spun it to make it more crunchy and more fun. Dave's also drawn from his current Yu-Gi-Oh love and added more synergy for characters. Oh, Mr. Squarepeg, 4 AM? You're up really late. Yeah, I've done that recently. I had a bit of a binge on Fortnite over the Christmas period. I've been playing it with my son. We got him the Game Pass over Christmas, and I was grinding away trying to get him some new skins and some new gear and stuff like that. So, yeah, before I knew it, it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was binge watching a bit of anime in the background. I feel your pain. Okay, so drawing from Yu-Gi-Oh, adding more synergy for the characters, more stacking passive and active abilities for some insane, what the fuck, how are you winning combos? It's very much not a competitive game, it's a swingy game where stories are made. Okay, cool. Quick jump over to you, Mr. Squarepeg. Yes, the sculpting course on Gumroad is mostly about, so well, I do give a run through of ZBrush and how the interface works and how my interface particularly looks and works, and I do share my interface here. That's obviously of no use to you whatsoever. That's like one module out of the course. The rest of it is talking about I use like the tools you can see on the screen over here. So I don't know Nomad Sculpt myself. I don't have an iPad, so I haven't got access to it. But I've got Move Topological, Move, Clay Build Up, Snake Hook, Clay Brush, don't even use the standard brush, Trim Dynamic, Orb Cracks, H Polish, a little bit of Inflate. That's pretty much all I'll ever use throughout the whole course. You've more than likely got equivalents of all of them in Nomad Sculpt from what I've seen. So I'll have to have a look and see if I can map it across and kind of get some correlation in there, maybe put that into the course as well. I want to do the same for Blender as well, so you can kind of pick up Blender and run it in there. But essentially most of what I'm talking about through the course are principles around the design of miniatures. So rather than, we're not looking at sculpting a nice character or a nice model or anything else. We are looking specifically at a 32mm scale miniature. So what you'll pick up in there is all of the all of the stuff you need for making this particular model so that it prints and paints nicely at 32mm scale. So you'll get a lot of that kind of stuff. So there is obviously the sculpting technique and everything else, but I do believe that will transfer across. So the main thing is the theory, I suppose, in there. And then obviously the bit about supporting, there's a little support masterclass in there about using lychee to kind of get, you know, prints that come off super clean and, you know, don't fail and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of useful information that is to do with the sculpting process and the design process and the printing process and all of that kind of stuff that is aside from ZBrush. ZBrush is just my personal delivery mechanism for it. So I hope that makes sense. It's been very well received by everybody that's done it. We've got about 60 people have kind of taken up the course so far. I think it might be a bit more than that actually now. It might be about 70. But quite a few people, I say, have done it. I've had a lot of feedback from people who have actually started on the course. I had one guy who thought I was a bit scattering backwards and forwards. I don't want to kind of talk to you about this right now, but you know, I do suffer a little bit when I'm talking about going off on tangents. So what I was trying to do is, because I was trying to focus on a particular topic, I didn't want to start talking about something unrelated, well, related but unrelated, and then kind of railroad myself on an actual course. I've got like a script to stick to, so I was trying to. So I do cover all the things that I say I'm going to cover, but when it's appropriate, if that makes sense. Okay, back to Dave's description. Universe is suitably Souls-like, with morally grey characters everywhere. You play the bad guys, as they're perceived by the human world, but you play from the awakened dead perspective, in a fight for survival and resources, all the while being hunted by humans who are totally addicted to the lifeblood that animates your characters. Throughout all of this, your characters are either protecting the less abled awakened, called drifters, that act as field control units, completely disposable but also pitiable, and that would be the elevator pitch from the 40th floor. So yeah, it all sounds awesome anyway, the game. So yeah, Dave asked me to work on this with him, asked me to kind of do the sculpts for it, and you know, I love Dave, he's brilliant, and frankly I couldn't say no to him, so I'm it for this one now. Righty then, so back to my sculpt. So I'm go to unlock again, and just Dynamesh again, and this will just create these two pieces into a single bit. This is in the interest of breaking symmetry, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm doing what I'm doing here. I don't like models to be completely symmetrical. It always feels really off, unless they're kind of like, you know, a proper kind of like military knight kind of thing. But even then, get a little bit of symmetry, asymmetry in there. You know, you don't need to have everything being, you know, perfect. Stuff can be uniform and still not be symmetrical. Blend in that scene. So I'm just using H polish here just to kind of smooth out the surface. I don't like using the smooth tool because it kind of blurs all of the details a little bit. It's like smudging something, you know. If you're going to do some blending with a pencil, do you gradiate the pencil blends, or do you get your finger in there and start smudging stuff? They both achieve the same result, but one obviously looks cleaner than the other. For me, I prefer the clean, stylized look of the older H polish than the Crazy Jaws. How are we doing this morning, Sam? Yeah, do you know what, mate? I've really got to start doing some more streams and getting back in the habit with this, because it was as I was saying earlier on, I had a bit of a to the year trying to like rationalise my workload and stuff, and the sculpting suffered a little bit whilst I wasn't doing the streams. So I've done my rationalisation. I've got it all settled and sorted. I need to now just get back into stuff and you know, get back into good habits. And there's a reason I started doing live streams in the first place. It wasn't to get you know, to monetize and become a YouTuber or any of that kind of crap. It was literally just to hold me accountable for my sculpting time. So trying to make sure that when I'm supposed to be sculpting, I am sculpting. And if I've committed to a live stream where I'm going to be doing 6 hours of it or 5 hours of it or whatever it might be, then it's a good way of making sure I'm on task, really, do you know what I mean? Okay, so there we go. And let's do... Oh, we've got a bit of lyrics going on. So I didn't want to talk and disturb the lovely elven voice. Making a knee pad over here. Again, asymmetrically, so we're not going for perfectly symmetrical details. Now, the only thing I've done here, I believe this is one of the human characters. I could be wrong. I might have to make him a bit more undead looking, like a bit of a revenant type. But we'll come back to that later on if I need to. Extract, let's reduce that to 458. Maybe more. Yeah, go 684. No, 684. There we go. Better. Right, I'm just going to move the boot here because it's gone through the leg. Let's just drag it out a bit. Second class windbreakers, what a name. I mean, it's a bot, but good name then. I'm just going to inflate that. Oh no, hang on, I'm not with that one, that's the brush. Inflate that a little bit. Perfect, let's push it in. So, where are we at next? Right, so boots is done. I'm going to give us some leggings, but not trousers, so we're not going to go too thick with them. Normally I would sculpt these, I'd extract them from the legs. However, in this case, because I want them to be skinny leggings kind of thing, I'm going to actually go the opposite of what I was going to do. I was going to basically paint them onto not bare legs. So what I want to do is just add some creases around the back, and then we'll add a seam down the side, and that won't add any bulk to her, but let's get our symmetry on for this. I will add a little crease, like a little fold here at the bottom. So she is wearing a skirt as well, so these are, I'd say, they're more of like a legging than they are a trouser, if you like. I'm just going to come in with the all cracks. Alt it, intensity 19. Let's go around here. Just going to bring a couple of bits through. I don't want them to be running consistently in the one direction all the way around, because that looks weird. Alternate between, cut some V shapes. And it looks far more natural then. And then up the side of the leg, boost the Z intensity here. I'm going to carve all the way down like that. Add some stitching, clay build up, reasonable brush size because we want to see the stitches. We want them to be like feature stitches, we're not trying to make them look like realistic stitches. You gotta remember, when you're sculpting miniatures, it's all about the exaggeration. Now if you want them to look, if you want the stitches to look really kind of regular and clean, then you want to make sure you keep the stitches like straight and parallel. If you want to make it look a little bit more, you know, rough, rugged, or chaotic, a bit more orcish, or whatever else kind of thing you're going for that's less polished, then change the angles of the stitches a little bit as you go up. I don't want this one to look like a noble woman, I want it to look a little bit more like a peasant warrior maybe. I'm just going to go and carve in the ends. I'm basically just rounding off where I've sculpted the rectangular laces. I'm just going around the outline of the edges to just draw them off so they look round rather than square. And using oil cracks, what this does is it creates a little divot that's going to catch some of the ink wash. So if you put an ink wash on a model, then it's going to settle in there. It's going to give that little darkening to the edge of the stitches and help highlight the stitch details. You can also go one step further and do it all around the outside and just raise the edges like that. Not always necessary. Depends what you're trying to achieve the look of. Okay, cool. Now again, I have done these symmetrically. If you're doing something bigger or you want to make more of a feature of it, I would suggest you do them asymmetrically. Especially if you're going zigzags and you're making them all random lines and whatever. Be sure you make... Oh, you asshole. Good old ZBrush. I think I've lost the trousers, haven't I? Didn't see nothing, it crashed, mate. It bloody crashed. Back to the thing, let's get working through. Let's try and make this up quick. Didn't even do nothing. It's one of those crashes where it just crashes, well, just to teach you a lesson and show you who's boss, I think. It's like a random worker strike. Yeah, I went for the classic art. So it does have a knack of doing this to you. I'm going to take the opportunity here to save it and grab a coffee. So I'm just going to put you on a BRB for a second and get my coffee machine running, guys. Okay, so give me 2 minutes. I'll be back to you. Okay, nearly done, guys. I could have just paused it for, or left it running on BRB for another 30 seconds and come back in when I was actually done, couldn't I? Would have made more sense, but. I've got my coffee machine in my office. Used it in the to clean it and do the descaling and whatever. Okay, but it's descaled, it's cleaned, it's back in use. Why is my phone on 14%? That's wrong, isn't it? Is that a charger issue? Oh my, that's why. I've got my bloody phone plugged into the, that makes more sense. So I had my phone plugged into a, got like a mass of cables on my desk here. I've got my phone plugged into a USB cable, which actually was connected to just a USB, not to the wall. I was trying to charge it from a USB port, which just was never going to work. There we go. Okay, right, back to work. Right, so that boot's done. This one I'm just going to bring in and reshape the top a touch. Not so big. We're going to go to a legs. I'm going to do what we just did on the previous little bit. So that's going to add a little bit of extra meat around the bottom of the, just around here, and in the back of the knee to allow for some creasing. We'll just smooth out the muscle lines in the leg. All my base meshes, I've got these muscles kind of like sculpted in, but often you don't want to actually use the muscles, you don't want them visible. They're good as guidelines, but then you kind of want to smooth them out and blend them back and whatever before you finish up. So just fill it in, make the legs a bit smoother, a bit rounder. Back to the all cracks brush and we'll do what I did before. Then you can see what I'm doing here. The important thing is not to cross any of the lines over. You don't want them going round consistently, but you also don't want to be crossing any of your lines. quick save there. Right guys, I believe I have got my save it command running, which is it exclamation mark save it? Commands. Not this one, look. Right, so yeah, whatever the command is it exclamation mark or forward slash, and then the word save it all in one, in capital letters without space. If you want to throw that one in there for me at any point you think I haven't saved it in a while, you're kind of scared the living daylights out of me, but it's going to prompt me to remember to save it. We're going to come back to the boots. Let's just again drag the boots back out, make them fit the leg. And on the leg again, we're going to add the stitching. So again, save first, just so I don't lose it, because this is what I did before when I tried to do it. Right, we've got auto group. Run the Z intensity to about 30, 35 say. I'm going to draw a line all the way down the side of the leg. Bush, there we go. Stitching, I want this about size 60 again. I'm going to go a little bit less frequent with the stitches on this one now, so it's not quite so muddled, not quite so busy. Zoom in, we're just going to do the edging on the stitching again. A little C shape just to round off the square stitches. Do remember guys, these are supposed to be highly stylised because they're for painting on a miniature. If they look a bit big and a bit garish and a bit ridiculous, you've got to remember that it's going to be 32mm scale, so it's going to be that big on the screen. So if you're sculpting details, you need to make sure they're going to be visible. Otherwise, what's the point? Quick save again, because I'm paranoid now. Okay. So the next thing then, we're going to do a pleated skirt. We're going to insert a cylinder, or append the cylinder. Shrink it till it's the right kind of size. It's a very short one. And then we're going to go to taper. I'm going to taper the top in. I'm just going to just straighten that out. Okay. Use move and Alt key just to push the skirt closer to the body. Right, now we're just going to do subdivide a couple of times, delete the lower. I'm going to bump up the resolution, give it a polish and a dynamesh. No, it's not a pleated skirt, is it? It's just a skirt. Which makes life a little bit easier. Bump this right up and turn this off. I'm going to lower this right down. Let's go over the top of the pleats. Mabel, why are you licking my ankle? Little weirdo. Smooth that again. I'm going to leave the skirt as it is for now. I'll come and do some fine detailing after posing. So there may be a little bit of deformation due to things like wind and movement and stuff like that I've got to account for. So I won't do any detailing on the skirt yet. I won't do any extra detailing on the skirt yet. We'll do the armour next. What are we looking at here? Okay, so we've got some like pockets and pouches and stuff like that to go around on a belt. But we've got like a upper body armour. Right, let's do a quick save again. This is good practice when you're doing when you're working in ZBrush. You've seen how it will just randomly crash for no reason. When it does that, or because it does that rather, it's good practice to, when you've completed something and you're happy with an aspect of the sculpt or a particular item you've done, save the game, and save it regularly, because there's nothing worse than having to redo your work. I say there's nothing worse, there's loads of things worse, isn't there? In the context of ZBrush. Right, that's the one we're using. So we're going to do an extract here on the body. Just clean this bit up on the side. Make sure the boot